Hey everyone, welcome back to Threes to Wound. My name's Rhys, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're starting a new adventure, if you will, and we've had to bring in a bit of a special guest to start this adventure. So over the last month or so, myself and Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop
Hi, I'm Ben. I like Kill Team, and I want to talk about it.
have had a bit of a discussion over, different ways to build different kill teams, different teams that we're excited about. And the big one is because it's been so busy, there's been so many teams, there's definitely been some that we've forgotten, but we've really wanted to play or model or really offer really unique and interesting ways to make interesting and thematic kill teams. So we decided to jump on a call and see if we could work out some way to, to help each other out, stay motivated, and create some cool kill teams. Check it out. Well, I think the best place to start is we're obviously, you've got a kill team channel. I've got a kill team channel. And we've already got too many models to paint.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought what we should do is make more models to paint.
Is paint more models. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Makes total
Logical.
sense. Like hair of the dog, right? Just keep throwing them back. Yeah.
Let's just double down. So there's one of the teams, and you probably saw them Kill Team Open, being very, very successful, was the team that I like, and that was the Warp Coven. Did you get to see them, a bit of them in action?
Oh, tons. Yeah, they were everywhere. Lot of Warp Coven. There's a lot of Warp Coven, lot of NIDs as well, but tons of Warp Coven. And one brave soul who was just running Compendium Thousand Suns. And yeah, just brave dude, just like what a gangster. And he didn't do too well, but hey, props, man. Props.
Brave.
Yeah, but yeah, they were everywhere, man, and doing really well. Super, really capable team. And it's nice to see a team that's capable that has Marines like somewhere in the situation.
Competitive Marines. Who would have thought that could possibly be a thing?
Not in this edition.
Have you used much psychic powers? Because I was going to say that's the one thing that's scared me off Compendium Thousand Suns, Grey Knights, is I'm like, I like the sound of it, but it does seem like something else to remember, which scares me a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's that Warp Coven has been the absolute most intimidating kill team for me to get into at bar none. Like it's just, and so there's a really good video on it that I watched, and that really helped me kind of just wrap my head around it. But other than that, I'm a Imperial Guard dude, and so like we're just throwing bodies around. We don't have what are psychic powers.
Yeah. Well, that's Gene Stealer Cult usually for me. So I mean, we technically
Yeah.
do have it, but in Kill Team, both teams have avoided it so far, and I wasn't mad about it. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be really cool though to have like a Wormblade sorcerer. Like I know they already did it all that, but that would be really cool to throw in like a Gene Stealer cult sorcerer.
I
Be
thought
pretty
I
cool.
think that was my hot tip. Was I thought the Magus was going to get in, and he was going to be, but then I thought, yeah, dude running around in robes probably wasn't too Black Ops. I don't know,
Yeah.
with his giant forehead out. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know.
uh,
I've been wrong before.
uh,
So yeah, so I reckon what we should do. I'm a sucker for and I don't think you've seen it before, but they used to do it in the White Dwarf. I think they still do as well, like the tale for four warlords. And
yeah,
it
I'm
was
not
like,
familiar.
yeah, and they pick a team, like there's four warlords, who would have thought it? They pick a team each, and then like over a set amount of time, they build, like for them, it's like they build a whole army.
Gotcha.
But we ain't got time for that. We're not. We play Kill Team for a reason. And so yeah, I thought if we can challenge each other and ourselves, so there's a bit of a hobby accountability involved with this as
Yes,
well.
please hold me accountable.
And then basically we can build our teams and basically add our own little flavor to them as well. So not
Yeah.
trying to find our own ways to not to follow the rules, but also make them, I guess, visually interesting. Or if they've got cool stories, I don't know if you're a big narrative or behind the scenes, naming them all.
Yeah,
Not
man.
not just Jeff, but like real, like Warhammer names.
All my guys have goofy names and they earn them.
Yes.
And yeah, but that's like what I'm all about is that's kind of what keeps me in the hobby is I kind of call it like having a kill team versus having like my kill team or your kill team is again like speaking at KTO, right? You roll up and there's 60 people, rolling dice and it's everybody's got, and I'll just this is my experience. Everybody's running Krieg Vet Guard, but I had like Australian. It's such as it's cool to have your guys really feel like your guys. And so I'm all about it, man. I love it.
Did people's heads explode when they saw the mustaches and no gas mask? Is that the thing that
It's
weird
just
people like?
the mustache was too much glory for people to. It just, yeah, it was busting guts and exploding heads, yeah,
Should
everywhere.
still definitely get an invulnerable save for the mustache. I'm just saying, rules as written, that should be in there.
You know what I got? I won in narrative. I won like it's called an heirloom respirator. It just helped me climb faster. I should have Sheldon change it to like giant fat mustache or something. Invuln.
Peak bushy top lip caterpillar. I love it.
Oh, too good.
So we sort of bandied the idea together a little while ago, and had been sort of. So have you started to think? Have you got any bits and pieces together or ideas together about how you're going to make them unique or your own?
Yeah, actually, now I don't hate Thousand Suns. Like we were talking before, I'm Team Magnus, right? Magnus did nothing wrong. I agree there. But those stupid helmets with the giant sticky uppy thing, like it doesn't do anything for me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So I do have a workaround for it, and I'm excited to try it out and kind of see where it goes. Because I'm not using helmets at all. Actually, that'll be my little
Oh,
hint: is no helmets at all.
I dig it.
That's what I'll say.
I think we must be on the same thought of that with the big tall hats, because yeah, I've got a solution for my guys will have helmets, but it's a solution. I've
Different helmets.
put
Gotcha.
something together, because I've done a bit of I did a bit of like traditional shopping, but I also went like, bargain bin hunting. I'm not sure over there if you've got like, we've got Gumtree, which is like, like a trading, like people sell random stuff on there, and there's quite
Oh, gotcha.
a
Sure, sure.
random Warhammer. I mean, of course, it's very Australian. Gumtree, welcome. It's fair dinkum. But we've got that. So I managed to find a few little deals for bits and pieces on there, which was good. Non-traditional sourcing routes.
Uh-huh.
And that also helped inspire me what I was finding bits and pieces, and then lots of researching. Have you read much of like the Horus Heresy books and stuff like that?
I just started book one like 3 weeks ago.
Yes, you got a long way to go.
Yeah. Oh boy. I know the ending, but I'm going to read 50 books just for fun.
Yeah, wait, don't say like that, because it really makes me seem like an idiot for reading them all. You guys know how it ends?
It ends? Wait, what?
Oh god. Let's say we want to look at. I guess the rule is, we're talking about accountability, so we've got to set a little bit of a timeline
Okay.
of how long we think, so we can actually still live normal people lives. We have to. You've
What's
got
that? What's
you've got a
normal?
family. I've got a fat dog that I have to look after. So we can't leave them out in the cold.
Hey man, equal.
Yeah,
Absolutely equal.
same,
Got to take
same.
care of those kids, man. Fur babies.
So I was thinking, if we do a video bi-weekly, so that's every second for those playing at home, and we go 6 weeks to get our team to, let's say,
Perfect.
tabletop presentable. Um, what
That's
do you think
that's
of
the
that?
best I do anyways. That's
Yeah,
my top echelon is tabletop ready. That's as high as I go.
yeah,
So perfect.
exactly. I call that, that's for me, that's display quality. The same.
Yeah,
It's
me
actually the
too.
same thing.
Hey man, listen, if you lower your expectations, man, it's like things go easier.
I'm one of those people. I get so like, I'll follow a painting tutorial and I'll sit there and I'll tongue out painting, and I'll follow it to the letter, and then you do that thing where you hold it up at the end next to their picture of it, and you're just like, what the shit happened? Like, where
Oh
did I
my
go wrong?
gosh.
I did everything. I did everything.
Yeah, my thing is I follow halfway through it and I'm like, oh, I can figure it out for the rest of the way. And then at the end, I'm like, what did I do to this thing? So I'm just time to strip it and start over.
I've made a huge mistake. Have you had a look, apart from obviously seeing them in action, have you had a chance to have a bit of a look at all the Warp Coven's rules and stuff like that? Have you had a chance to dive deep into any of it? You said you had a helpful video.
Yeah, it's
Um,
if anybody's interested, it's Straum plays, like Straum plays, and he has a really good video on it. But yes, I have looked into it, and I still have a headache from it. Yeah, I know that I want the three sorcerers because I think that's about the only way to do it, right? And so I know that I don't remember any of the names, but I want one to be able to fly. I know that I want one to make people go slower, and I think I want one to do mission objectives easier, but I'm not sure if that conflicts with one of the other two. But definitely flying and definitely making people slower. That's all I remember.
I
Does that
like it.
sound kind
No,
of right?
that sounds right. Because no, you're right. Because there's three like
The
archetypes.
boons,
I
right?
think boons. Yeah, boons is the correct word. Yep. Yeah, three of those to choose from, and that's it. So you pretty much pick one. I think from each of those. I've got it right here. I should
Hmm.
read. Um, yes, there you go. Three categories, and you can't pick from the same one twice for an operative. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm definitely doing that. And then the big gun, the Soul Reaper cannon. I mean, that looks just too tasty to leave out, right? And so that a couple of Zangors in the mix, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, at least to start with.
And so these will have been guys that are well and truly, although Magnus obviously did nothing wrong, these guys are well and truly down the mutated and warped path of the
Oh,
dark 41st millennium.
yeah. I would actually say all my guys, again, maybe another hint, are like definitely down the rabbit hole. Like they have really taken a few steps further into the warp,
I
and
dig it.
that's kind of at least what I'm thinking right now. Is and again, I mean, next week or next video we'll see, but I'm thinking like heavy into the mutation side of things.
I was thinking, yeah, I've been, as we sort of touched on the Horus Heresy books, I've been reading those again, and Magnus is my boy. They're some of my favorite books. Just an interesting character. The Legion's really interesting. So I kind of want to push mine on turn back the clock, not full heresy era. I want it to be
Gotcha,
like after it's all gone, a bit pear shaped. So
gotcha.
maybe in that first period of either just at the end of the heresy or directly after Prospero, I thought could be really cool. Of maybe having some, I don't know, some space wolf bits, and I don't know, like
Yeah,
just
I was about
something,
to say that'd be very cool. Yeah,
yeah, something to do with them being like, they're still them, but it's starting to unravel. And with the Zangors, definitely something there that they're maybe not. Yeah, I know, because I mean they do still have quite human bodies and shapes. So I've got some
right.
ideas on ways to play with that. That maybe they've still got some of their chapter serfs or something like that as well.
Very
I think
cool.
that's the direction I want to head with it.
That's cool, and it's that'll be fun at the end of it to see because we're both taking like very different directions, like design directions and kind of lore directions. So that'll be cool to see how they kind of contrast at the end of this thing.
I've got to remember too to, like people, I know a lot of people out there do all the narrative stuff too, like they roll for the names and all that too. I mean, I've never
Well, I'm
actually
down for
done,
that.
yeah, I've
I'm
never
down for that.
actually
You want
done
to do
that
that?
for a team, like doing like a proper, like, yeah, narrative little roster thing. So maybe we should double down and as we build them and they get a bit of character, we can start, yeah, get it emotionally
Absolutely.
attached to them.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. I love that. Let's lock that
That's
in. I want to do that.
Yeah, because that's always been my thing in Kill Team is I've always said like don't get attached to your operatives, especially in this edition they die a lot. I want to get emotional. That's at the gaming table.
you ever
I
you
want-
ever play the XCOM back in the day?
exactly.
You like name them
Yes.
after your best friends, and when they die, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
I usually call my friends after just to say check they're okay. I'm like, just make sure there's not some correlation between the game and real life.
Some Final Destiny situation or something.
Yeah, it's like I didn't
Final
know.
Destiny, Final
I,
Destination. Yeah.
I didn't know all this time. I'm sorry.
Oh
All
man.
right, so that's pretty good. I think that gives us a really good foundation to start with. So we
I think
know the
so.
team we're going to build. We know roughly how long we've got to do it. We'll bring out our videos, and I think we can go into a bit more detail about each of our teams and our trials and tribulations as we try to build them up and get them on the table ready to go.
Love it, dude. I'm super excited. And we've been talking about this for like about a month or so. I'm so excited to actually get into it. I've been thinking about it for a month, and my creative juices are ready, dude. I can't wait.
A huge thank you to Ben there for joining us all the way from the land up over, talking all the way to the land down under. So that's been one of my favorite things about this hobby so far is the whole community that it's opened up access to. Being able to talk to Kill Team enthusiasts, Warhammer fans, people from all different backgrounds, walks of life who love this awesome and wonderful hobby. So let's nut it down a little bit to exactly what I guess my inspiration and my sort of thought process is here for what will be my Warp Coven kill team. So I'm going to try and build a bit of a roster so I can have the proper, it might not be 20 man, but it'll be enough to give me a few options here and there with a strong thematic vibe, which will kind of give me a team I'll probably run most of the time, just swapping in a few units here and there. I'm a big Horus Heresy fan, and I've read a whole bunch, and by a whole bunch I mean pretty much all of the novels for it, and the Thousand Sons have always been one of my favorite legions. Magnus is fine, don't worry about him, he's a good guy. And I've always been a fan. I think what makes a lot of the traitor legions so interesting through the Horus Heresy series is you know what happens, you know where they end up, but that story or that tragic downfall of how each of them gets there is really, really interesting. So I kind of wanted to pick up this kill team at a point where maybe they weren't all the way, 10,000 years worth of time in the Eye of Terror on the planet of sorcerers or the sorcerer planet. I kind of want to pick my team up not long potentially after, the raising of Prospero and what happened there. So I think that could be really, really cool. So to do that, I don't want to go full 30k Marines. I don't want to be using Horus Heresy era things, but I want to have enough bits and pieces that tie back to that time. One of the ways I wanted to do this was helmets. So I wanted this to be before Ahriman had done the big spell that turned everyone into dust. So I wanted to be this before that all went a bit haywire. So I wanted to create the Marines to be a bit in that transitional period. So colors wise, I want to be going classic Thousand Sons, but I want to add my own little touch to it. And I'm thinking more like a metallic kind of red color as opposed to like a flat red with that. So I guess that'll start to give that idea of the bit of the glamour of the warps starting to cling to them, that they're starting to look a bit magical and a bit more warp infused. I also want to get rid of those big tall helmets because I'm not a fan of the Egyptian big tall, I don't know, that for some reason they've never sat quite right with me, and they also look a bit of a nightmare to paint with those little rows in them as well. So to counteract that, I got these. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. We got these little Thousand Sons Mark 1V heads upgrade set. So a few different types of helmets in there, which I'll use for my different Rubicon Marines to give them the feel more that they haven't gone, or things haven't gone too far. In my next video, once I've started modeling and started building, I'll probably have a bit more of an in-depth look at exactly how the roster's going to take shape. What I've been doing is just gathering lots and bits and pieces and different resources to potentially build the models and what I think I want to do. The other big one is, it looks like a bit of a non-negotiable, and it is definitely to have the 3 sorcerers in your team. So I've got a few different bits and pieces to create those 3 different sorcerers. And a bit like what Ben said, I want to have them thematic to some of the boons that they can take as well. So ones that can fly, ones that might have different extra appendages or avian faces, whatever. There's a few different options I want to look at. And I've got a few different tools to do that. As I may have mentioned in the video, I've been hunting online for lots of stuff. So this is a bit of a collection. This is the Thousand Sons half of the box set that they came with the Grey Knight. So this has all the Zangor parts in it, which I need. It's also got the Terminators, which obviously I can't use, but it does come with lots of the Khopesh hands with the little things as well. And hopefully some little bit extra bits and pieces I can use to create some pretty unique looking Marines. Maybe some parts I can hamburgle for the sorcerers as well. The other interesting thing I wanted to look at too was, I think, and I have to look this up and double check, I may have to read something again, but I'm pretty sure when Ahriman turned everyone into dust, that included all like their support staff and their helpers and the humans that were around. I think it did a lot of damage to Legion. I think they lost most of their serfs, but initially, I think some, or if not all, may have possibly gone to the Planet of Sorcerers with them. I'd have to look this up. I'm not 100% sure. But if not, they still would have needed at this early stage to have some humans with them. So I wanted to create my Zangor units more like the human serfs who'd started to sort of be changed by the warp and their time there. So I grabbed one of these Cultists of the Abyss sets to sort of give me a few extra human-like bodies that I can probably mix with the Zangor parts and arms and legs and heads and to kind of make it look like these are, you know, serfs and that are in a bit of transition due to the mutagen effects of the warp. So again, that they've been there for not thousands of years, but they're starting to, the change is taking hold amongst the mortal crew and the mortal servants of the Thousand Suns. And the last thing, of course, is just the regular hi-hats themselves, the Rubicon, the focus, we'll find it sooner or later. There it is. So yeah, so obviously these guys will be the foundation of the team, but obviously I'm really excited. I haven't used Zangors before. I haven't used the Warp Coven team at all either, so I'm really excited to get in there, build them in lots of different ways, and basically show you guys the process and how they're looking. I'll make sure I've got lots of video, photos, taking you through the process of what my brain's thinking as I'm creating this team, and really making them thematic, and hopefully really giving them that feel of they're kind of in that middle bracket between the 40th first millennium we know and the Horus Heresy era as well. So fingers crossed, this is a really cool adventure. How this will work is we're basically going to be doing the videos for this will come out bi-weekly. So there'll be this one. In 2 weeks, there'll be another one, which will be a bit of a follow-up, a show of some of the modeling, show where the models are at. And then for myself, my last video will be a bit of analysis and also a tactical battle report with them as well. So one of the first times I actually get them on the table. And basically, we want you guys out there to follow along if you're so interested, if you're so inclined, and you're thinking of starting a Warp Coven team. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Any ideas on how to build a roster, any ideas on how to model things, suggestions, chuck it all in the comments. Myself and Ben's Instagram, I'll pop up on the screen here somewhere. Make sure you jump on, follow us on our Instagram as well, because both of us will be doing progress of our own journey. Ben will also do 3 videos showing you how his process is going and how his journey is going, and he's going to finish it all up with a really cool in-depth analysis of the Warp Coven team, which he does so well, breaking down what's good and bad about them, and of course adding his own really good flavor. He's really good with green stuff, so he's great at sculpting, so I have no doubt his models will have really cool unique things compared to mine, who will just be lots of janky bits glued together and painted half decently at best. So that's it for this video, guys. It's a short, sharp one. This is the introduction. This is showing you the start of this hobby journey. And if this goes well, if Ben and I find that this goes really, really well, we're going to expand these. And this might be something we do sort of, every couple of months, we might do another one of these challenges. And each time we'll probably keep expanding it to you guys. If you can send us through photos to our Instagram or send your suggestions down low, these will be things we'll include in the videos as well. We'd love to see some of the people out there. Send us pics of your Warp Coven teams. Send us, your kit bashes as well to our Instagram. We'd love to see them, and we'll share them on these videos as well, so we can get you guys out there involved, because we think this is a really fun way to do it. It's a good way to have a bit of a hobby accountability, which I know I'm terrible with. My pile of shame or pile of opportunity continues to grow, especially as Nackman's just landed in my lap and I haven't even opened it yet. But it's great and it's exciting, and this is going to get some really cool teams on my channel, on Ben's channel, and obviously more content for you guys to watch as well. In the meantime, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. You can even click that little bell, which will notify you when my videos are coming up. I'll also try and set some the premiere ones as well, so you know when they're coming up, so you can set them in your calendar. And really I really appreciate you guys watching. Really love your enthusiasm and joining in so far. We'll see you next time on Threes to Wound.